Welcome to the Church Security Answer Man video blog, where it's all about ministry safety, security, and making a difference for people. And now, your host, a former law enforcement officer, criminal justice trainer, and security expert, Captain Joe Puckett.
That you've joined me for a brief discussion, just one component of the things that we try to provide to help you with your security plan. We've got lots of other information at churchsecurityanswerman.com. We've got audio shows, podcasts, written blogs, and some briefing training type stuff that we're putting together to help you with your program. So today, during this episode of the video blog, I'd like to discuss backpacks. What are you doing with backpacks? What are the issues with those backpacks coming into our service? Certainly, you didn't create the issue today, but our society, people within our society, use backpacks to create major issues. Destruction, take lives, all disruptive, be disruptive to services or situations, parades like we've seen in the past several years. So we didn't create that situation. But we certainly have to deal with it. And how are you effectively going to deal with that? Something needs to be done with those backpacks. So are we going to take them from people and hold them? Are we going to search them? What is it that you're going to do? So several bombing incidents in the United States, other areas of the world as well that people have used those backpacks. So we need to do something, in my opinion. So and can you search them? Can you search a backpack? We're discussing this briefly, but the fact is there's two components. I'm not giving you legal advice, but there's two things certainly that we want to think about is, one, people are coming onto your property. So the church is owned or directed by you or the security staff. As a member of the security staff, you're in control of that premises, if you will. So you have control over that. The other issue is that if you make a policy or if you make a decision or your leadership does that you're going to search backpacks, then you can. So if you make decisions that you're going to do that, the issue becomes, from my awareness, not at a legal standpoint, but from my general awareness of dealing with law enforcement issues, fairs, events, those kind of things, is that if you do it for one, you have to do it for all. So here becomes the big deal. You've got to have a general policy. People bring backpacks into the service, then you have to handle them all the same way. So whether it's a stranger that you've never seen before, if you're going to store it for them, if you're going to search it, you have to also do that for others. So now the lead pastor's brother comes into the service or son, and he has a backpack. We have to generally treat people the same manner. We have to have a policy across the board. So think about that. Check with your legal folks, your attorneys, people who make those decisions for you. But generally, if we're going to do something, and I think that we need to do something in our services, we have to protect our people. That's my opinion. But if you're going to do something, what legal standard does it need to meet, or what guidelines do you need to have in dealing with those issues? It needs to be the same for everyone. Now let's talk about storing them. Let's say you store them. Where are you storing them? I've talked to many churches who do store the backpacks. They take a backpack from someone, store it in a locked office or a locked closet area, maybe off the entrance, the foyer of the church. So what are you going to do with that? It has to be secure. You've got to take care of the items for the people. Make sure that nobody's going to steal items from them, or they can't claim that someone did. So it's got to be locked under one person's control. And then the other issue is how close is that to the proximity of your congregation or your auditorium or where your ministry is being held during that time period. So we certainly want some distance. There's a balance here. There certainly is a balance. You're going to have to use you're going to have to use a compartment or a closet or something that you probably already have access to. We can't build something new generally. So we have to use those things. So it's a balancing act. Where can we put this? Is it safe? Well, it's safer than having the backpack in the auditorium under the seats where the people are seated, certainly. If it's out in the auditorium, then we're talking about 25, 50, 75, maybe more feet away from the people. So that's better than being within the facility. So, and I think a better decision than just letting those backpacks go into your service. So searching, also an option, can be dangerous, but certainly an option. However, on the other side, now let's say a backpack gets left somewhere, it's abandoned, and that's not a normal situation for your facility. Then I would be very cautious about searching that backpack. So if it's suspicious, if it's been left, then the authorities need to be notified because there may be something within that backpack. So you got to think about it ahead of time. Pre-planning, very, very important in this situation. What am I going to do on my ministry campus if I find a backpack? What are we going to do about it? So how common is that for somebody to leave a backpack? In some of your ministries may be very common. So in others, not so common. So what are you going to do? How are you going to handle that? You may even find a safe place where you take those backpacks to put them. But generally, if it's suspicious, these days, boy, people use those backpacks to contain destructive devices. So these days, you have to be cautious with them. And if it's suspicious at all that it's sitting abandoned, then I would alert the authorities. I would call 911, let them evaluate it for you or with you. So thank you for joining us for this edition of the Church Security Answer Man video blog. There's much more information available to you. This is just a quick glimpse, a quick thought process for you. There's much more information that we are developing in this new community that we're trying to build for you. There's much more information at churchsecurityanswerman.com. So video stuff, audio stuff, written blogs, those kind of things that we're adding. And certainly, if you have a question, send me an email, something that you want to be covered in one of these formats. You can send me an email to captainjoepuckett@gmail.com. So thank you again for joining us, and I hope to see you next time.
Thanks for watching the Church Security Answer Man video blog. Get more by joining us anytime at churchsecurityanswerman.com.